Tigers dropped their first game of the year. We're breaking it down on the Hannycast.
The Hannycast, a weekly LSU football film study with Charles Hannegriff and former LSU tight end Richard Dickson. Now to break down the Tiger tape, here's Charles and Richard.
Ole Miss beats LSU 24-19. Richard, this was a disappointing loss for LSU. They were not able to run the football. Ole Miss piled up 480 yards of total offense. We're going to talk a lot about Garrett Nussmeier and how much he is hurting or not hurting or whatever. But you know, this was a tough game to swallow for a lot of LSU fans.
Yeah, it's a tough game to watch again for sure. It's frustrating to the point because, like, I said it on the post-game show, the easy thing to do is sit here and crap on the play calling, but it even hurts worse when you go back and, like, okay, maybe I didn't like the sequencing of the play calling, but if it's executed, it works. And when you go back and watch all these plays where there's big plays on the field and we're taking sacks or taking tackles for a loss, it's very frustrating that we're just not executing up front.
Well, and into inferior numbers most of the time, which would have led to, this is what we talked about at the beginning, a running game that I thought gave up on a little bit too early.
We hinted on this a couple weeks ago about the games that the D-line are playing looping and where we were having issues on one side versus the other side. Well, we're not the only person that caught on to it because every team we've played since then is running games up front, and we haven't figured it out yet.
I was fairly certain that they were going to watch the film in Oxford, too. All right, let's take a look at the first play here. This is 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line for LSU. This is about 3 minutes into the game. This ends up going for a 50-yard gain, but this ball was badly underthrown.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I try to highlight some of the really good plays in here, and I always try to want to show some positive things. But this is one of those times where I put a positive play and you go back and watch the film, I'm not happy about it at all. You get decent enough protection. Like Paul Mavinga gets slammed because he doesn't know that there's a slant coming on. The guy's coming off the edge. But he has enough time to sit back there and make a throw. And it's a poorly thrown ball. You got a safety on the opposite side of the hash, 7 yards outside. You got Thomas 3 yards outside the opposite hash. And we get a duck up the middle that almost gets intercepted.
All right, we're going to look at the close view for the protection, and then we're going to look at the wide view for the throw. So set this up for me.
So you're going to get a 4-man rush adding a fifth, and what they're doing is you're going to see a slant. And this is my biggest frustration to this point, and where it's coming to me is it's got to be on some coaching because these guys are not aware of what's happening in the games. You got to understand that when you're getting slant, when pressure leaves you, pressure's coming from somewhere else. And we're just never noticing it. We're always late to it, and it's getting us knocked off balance.
Let's watch the left side here, and Paul Mavinga does not see the stunt coming from the defensive end.
You have the D-tackle slant across the center's face. See, I disagree with my original thing. His eyes are on him the whole time. Like
that's worse.
That's worse. I mean, if you play it again, like I tricked myself into thinking his eyes were inside. But no, I mean, this is just bad. But it's not bad enough to blow up the play.
Okay, so that's where the pressure is coming from. We'll watch this. They actually have it blocked on the right side. Now Thomas comes back to the ball and makes a very nice play, and this turns out to be a 50-yard gain for LSU. But when we watch the wide view, since we've done this once already, I know where to stop the film. Watch Xavier Thomas, who's to the far right of the screen here.
This is a blown coverage by Ole Miss. You got two guys going with the running back. Green and Thomas are really going to run scot-free. You're going to have a corner trail him late. But right there, I mean, and that's even a little bit later, the ball's halfway up. You got a safety on the left.
Let me back it up again here. All right, Thomas has gotten his release to the inside.
Do a little double click. Just let it go a little bit right there. He's gone. There's nobody catching him. Nussmeier is reaching back to throw. Like, this is textbook, solid protection. Look, Mubanga's getting knocked on his butt, but there's enough time to get this play off. Nuss is already I'll take back what we said earlier. Nuss's eyes are downfield. He's not even seeing Mubanga right now. So this is a throw that he's got to get up the hash. You got to lead the guy, throw outside the numbers, and this is a touchdown all day long. The guy that almost intercepts it is 5-6 yards off the left hash. It's just a duck. And I get that he gets a little bit of pressure at his feet, but he's got to know that he's got to leave that ball out.
Okay, I want to see where he sets up here. All right, he's at about the 25-yard line. If he throws this ball and leads Xavier where he's supposed to, like you said, up the seam, where do you think this ball would land? A well-thrown ball?
I'd say about the 35.
Okay. So that's a 40-yard throw. This throw is going to go from the 25 to the 40.
He goes to about the 40, 5 yards short, but a duck on the inside. Like he didn't get the pressure to push it out.
Before we run the next play, I'm going to stop it right here so we can talk about this for a second. And I'm not going to address all the wild rumors and all that stuff's going on. Brian Kelly says he's not hurt. Nussmeier says he don't want to talk about it. So I'm going to take those guys at their word. But something hurts. I mean, I'm not saying he's injured, because if he's injured, he's not out there, in my opinion. I mean, he's got an NFL future. He's got a father who's a quarterback coach in the NFL and has spent his life in the game. Kelly's a 30-plus year coach. And Nussmeier knows what his body feels like. If he were injured, he would not be playing. That's my opinion.
If I'm Nussmeier and I'm injured and it's affecting my game, I'm not playing. I'll tell the coach I can't do it.
Okay. But something hurts somewhere because he's not getting some steam on a lot of these throws.
No, he's not getting steam. And this sounds terrible. For his projectability, you would hope that something's wrong, because this isn't the guy that you're used to seeing. You would say something's got to be limiting him. And I think it kind of hurts when Kelly says there's not. Like, something has to be wrong for him not to be able to make the throws that we're used to seeing him make.
But for some reason, it's just not there.
He's pushing it.
And this is not even the worst underthrow of the game.
No, his feet are bad. It's a little bit of mechanics, and he's just not really throwing torque. And I put a play in later. This is where I kind of start contradicting myself, because he hits Barry Brown on a crosser in between three people where he has to put some zip on it.
There are some throws. There was another one to Bauer Sharp on the outside where I thought the one that Sharp caught, I thought had some mustard on it. And only he knows how much, how he feels for sure. Located in the heart of downtown Hammond, Cina is an upscale Italian restaurant serving traditional dishes in a contemporary fashion inspired by an abundance of fresh local produce and the ways of old. Cina is creating a wonderful dining experience, unique because Cina's goal is to use local ingredients and delicious recipes to create an exceptional dining experience while also providing fresh and inclusive atmosphere that can be enjoyed by everyone. Cina in downtown Hammond. This next play is a 2nd down and 3. This is late in the first quarter. 2nd down and 3 at the LSU 32. This is Xavier Thomas, and this ends up being a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, and I'll start to really speak on it once we get to the rear view. But this is one to where I put the same running play in twice. You're going to see it 4 plays from now, to where I think there's issues with Mike calls. If you pause it right here, what I'm looking at here is they're calling Mike middle right here at 30. So when you say that, you got the center and guard working tackle to here. You're going to have here outside, leave one for the back, which I think that's an impossible block at this point. And this is what they're calling Mike middle. But later on, I think that they need to push it back to the left. It makes it more fair block for the center and the guard to get on. What you're going to see is the guard is going to get beat across his face. Moore is going to try to help for some reason on the inside, but then he's late to getting up here. And then Paul Mbinga's put on skates. He slams the hole shut right here. When he got beat across his face, he slammed the hole shut. Mbinga couldn't get any stop. The seam is supposed to hit right here, and it's almost there. Mbinga gets any bit of a stop, and Thompson can stretch him a little bit. But both of them get their butts whipped on this play, and I think a lot of it has to do with what they were told to do as far as setting the mites and setting the protections, because you're going to see in 4 plays where I watched this first, I'm like, I don't like where they're setting the mite. Go back. When you go back, it opens things up a little bit for them. You can run it back, and I'll try to tell you to pause. But the biggest thing is they're zone right. These two are going to work here to here. Mbinga's got to get a stop, but he gets pushed on skates, and he doesn't slow it down. When Thompson gets stopped, the zones expand. You want to expand everything. When you have a D tackle that gets inside and sets the edge right there, you can no longer expand, and you can't get a backside cutoff. There's nowhere for the running back to go.
Next play is at 1st and 10. This is at the Ole Miss 29. This is probably Nussmeier's biggest mistake of the game. Very early in the second quarter, this pass was intercepted by Williams, And, boy, it's in the heavy coverage here.
Yeah, and to me, this is Nussmeier guessing because when he releases the ball, nobody's open.
Let's take a look at the coverage before we start.
So, I mean, you're going to get a bait. They're not bringing a lot of pressure. I think this gets picked up pretty well. You're going to see, I think, a 3 or 4 man rush, maybe possibly someone drops off. But this is one where you're going to get man coverage up here, and he is guessing the safety's going to carry Xavion, and then he's thinking that he's going to continue carrying him, and he's going to throw the backside dig from Berrien. Well, the safety doesn't carry him. He ends up playing zone, stops, and he throws right into his hands. But this is 1st and 10 early on where you got some momentum. You don't need to hit the home run. I'm hitting Bauer sharp all day long on 1st and 10. But this is where I go back. Okay, is he hurt or is this a bad throw? Like, it's a bad throw regardless, but is this a bad decision or is he hurt? Because Thomas is open. If I'm throwing this ball, I'm throwing it to Thomas over the top.
I'm going to let it run for the wide view.
Protection's pretty strong right here. Like
he was protected this time. Okay, we'll see what other options he has here. A little better from the wide view.
Right here, let it go a little bit further. Right now, I'm hitting Bauer sharp for a 7-yard gain.
Okay, if he's hurting at this point, sharp is a much easier throw. Yeah. I understand he would rather push it down the field if it's open, but it's not open.
No, nothing's open right here. It's 1st and 10 early in the game. Take your 7-yard. He might break a tackle and go for 15 right here. You don't know, but you're pushing in the red zone. But the biggest problem is you see on the film, he's throwing the ball right now. His arm's back, and it's about to come forward. Who's open? None of these guys are. Well, if you talk about anticipation throws, I get it. But he's assuming the safety is carrying Thomas deep. And this is complete guessing right now. And if the safety carries him deep, yeah, this backside dig hits. But you don't know that. You can't let go of that ball yet. My thing is, if you wait another half second, if you click it forward, right there you see the safety sit. You got to hit Thomas over the top for a touchdown. But where he's throwing the ball, where the ball's in air right now, nobody's playing deep with Thomas.
I'm going to run it back one more.
I think this is just him guessing. He thought that safety was carrying Thomas deep. He didn't. He sits on it and makes the pick. This one's frustrating me because it's almost like he panics and tries to fit it in. But everybody stopped. Thomas goes deep. And it's another one where Thomas probably had a touchdown.
Tough play to take at that point in the game. We're brought to you by the Capital Area USSSA in Baton Rouge, the USSSA affiliate, hosting events for all levels of skills. USSSA hosts league play and into the Rec All-Star divisions, along with AA, AAA, and Major League State and National events. Exciting events lined up for the fall and into next spring. For more information, call Lane Petrie, 771-9095, 225-771-9095. And that is the Capital Area USSSA team and league. This next one is an Ole Miss offensive play. They're playing 1st and 10 at the LSU 32. This is about midway through the second quarter. And this ball goes to Caden Lee for a big gain, but they get the fumble. And Ole Miss almost certainly would have gotten points out of this, but A.J. Halsey makes a heck of a play on this.
Yeah, and this is one of the positive plays I wanted to put on there for hustle. But when you go back and watch it, we have a blown coverage. I'm not sure. It's easier to see from the wider view, but nobody picks up. You got who's zero? Cooley or Perkins. Somebody, the pass off. And I mean, when I've watched film now for 5 games, it's typically Cooley and somebody that when we do have a blown coverage. But there's only been few. This is the first game we had multiple.
Pump fake one way. He's wide open in the middle of the field.
I almost feel like Cooley was supposed to carry. I don't see anybody else who could have. I'm almost assuming that Perkins kind of green dogged, that he has the back out the backfield, and at some point he makes a decision to rush, but nobody carries. You got one safety, you got 13 high. He's playing back to the middle, so I'm saying it's going to be middle high. I would assume that Cooley has to carry the inside receiver, but for some reason or not, Cooley takes the flat. Because Perkins doesn't take the running back. He goes and rushes, and nobody carries the slot receiver. This look only screams that Cooley had to stay with him. I mean, both of them are wide open, but.
All right, so Cooley is carrying off into the.
I think this is where Perkins guessed.
Okay.
Perkins was green dogging, probably had the back out the backfield. It was a slow developer, and Perkins tends to use his speed to try to get there.
This was a beautiful punch by Halsey.
Oh, this is freaking awesome. I mean, to get that out.
That is essentially a 7-point saving play by A.J.
100%.
Halsey. Yeah. He punches right on the ball, and Weeks is hustling on the back end for the recovery. All right, this next pass is a 2nd and 20, so LSU's backed up. They're back at their own 10-yard line. It's about halfway through the second quarter. This play is a ball that is intended for Trey Green.
It's another bad decision. Protection. Watch the young freshman at right tackle. I mean, he's going to get nasty with this guy, and at this point, let him play. I mean, he's the most aggressive lineman we have. And look,
Carius Kern.
He doesn't know what's happening right now 60% of the time.
He found out he was going to play less than an hour, I think, before the game.
And
that he was going to start when Weston Davis got hurt in pregame.
But this guy gives effort, and he's mean, and he wants to hurt somebody, and that's what I need
talking
right
him
now.
up since August. I like it. I think he's eventually a guard, but for right now, come on.
Watch him finish this guy. This is the type of offensive lineman I want. I think this is the play. No, yeah. You just dive on him. I don't care. But you got that much room out here. That's perfect for an offensive line. When you're going to collapse the end, roll out, you got all the room in the world, make a good throw. I mean, this is one he tries to fit in, and you'll see it again from the wide view. I don't know if Nussmeier and Thomas are fighting right now, but Thomas is running open. If I'm throwing the ball anywhere, I'm throwing it over to the back of the field to him. But you got 3 guys to cover that. When Thomas, he's covered, but if I'm letting one rip, I'm going up the seam or down the hash or down the numbers when you see him running. He's got the leverage. He's got the speed.
What kind of this is another one of those. They rushed 3 on this?
I believe
so. Maybe
Let's
4?
See.
No, it's 3 again.
And so
he should have all
day long right here. Hit pause. If I'm throwing here, 1, 2, 3, or you want to lay it out here on the numbers past him and let Thomas go run and get it.
I'm looking on it.
Because you have time to see this.
Right there, okay, when he's still back there and he's got time this time. Is there anybody open?
No, I mean, I'm throwing probably to Thomas on that backside.
Yeah.
You can lead him towards the hashes. I mean, there's an available throw right there. He's got him beat on that side. Now right here, I'm throwing it to the SEC logo and letting him go out and run it, but I'm not throwing it to the guy that's got 2 guys trailing him and a corner on the inside of the other receiver. I mean, that should have been another pick right there. Like that decision making doesn't I'd rather you throw it out of bounds than throw that ball.
That's a tough one. That's from a backyard shed to the top of the game, more than just a baseball bat company. Marucci's built on legacy, their legacy on passion and precision. 2 decades of crafting the finest wood, metal, and leather in the sport. They're here to help you run the game at MarucciSports.com. And don't forget about the Hitter's House, 5801 Segan Lane and 1801 Airline Drive in Metairie. Members have 24/7 access to the members-only cages, bullpen cage reservation opportunities, and a 15% discount at the rental store, MarucciSports.com. This next play is a rush. LSU's playing 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line, 4:24 to go in the first half, and this is a run, but it only ends up catching 1 yard. You thought this was a good call.
Well, it's the same run.
Oh, the same run we saw earlier?
That we saw earlier with a different mic call.
Okay.
Bad technique, but I'll start talking really when I get to the behind view. It's a little bit easier to see, but you can tell where they're working. I think the center made a good adjustment, realizing they could not reach the mic to the right. So what they're going to do here is they're going to go mic back to 6. You're going to have what I call a deuce call right here. You're going to let the tight end go wide on the end by himself. Now it's a combination block between the guard and tackle, and they're taking the defensive tackle to this linebacker. Put 8 on 9, and then you're one-on-one with the safety. So previously, they played the mic over here, remember? So they tried to work this way. It was damn near impossible to get there, and it messed them up. This still messes them up. It's bad technique on Kern right here, but I like the decision-making from the center pushing the mic back. See, to rewind real quick, when I say this is where Kern is just young, he's got to take outside half. Hat placement is terrible. Hat placement has to be on there to give your guard some help.
Yeah, that's also he's also in
Thompson can't
way.
do anything now.
Yeah, Thompson's way.
So if they work this with good hat placement, they're pushing to here. You got one-on-one. It is a good play. Like you're about to have the cutoff over here. He's going to get the ball. He's got a lead blocker, but because Kern, he's a young guy, he's fighting his ass off. I'll give him that. But he has bad hat placement, bad technique, and it blows up the play again.
Let's take a look at it from the wide view.
So rewind it back. Because of the bad hat placement, I'll tell you when to hit pause. Now, there's no way in hell they can work to that backer anymore because they've cut each other off. You got the tackle inside the guard working on the same guy, and the linebacker flows freely to make the stop.
Part of the LSU run game, it was stuffed all day. All right, this next pass is a 3rd down and 4, and Nussmeier goes to Caleb Jackson for no gain, but you got a bad route in here too.
This is really terrible on Green. There's no situational awareness. You got to understand this 3rd and 4, get to the sticks. Run spacing. He runs inside. Look where, hit pause. Green's at damn near the 50. Look where the first down marker is.
42.
This is a 3rd and 4. Get to the sticks and settle down. You're playing zone coverage. You got all the space in the world. But not only does he run to depth that's too far, he's got terrible technique and he's drifting backwards. And I work with 7-year-olds on this every day long at practice. You never drift backwards. That makes an easy interception.
Wasn't he drifting in the Clemson game too?
Yes.
There's
the part I'm having problems with now, and I don't like to talk bad about kids, but these kids are not either they're not taking the teaching and moving forward with it, or they're not being taught. So there's one way or another. These guys are playing 5 games in. The little stuff like this, I mean, everybody knows that it's 3rd and 4, get to the sticks.
This is something, not the sticks part, but the drifting part.
That's just technique.
That's happened
a lot.
Yeah.
And you'll really see it from the other side. He takes a terrible angle. He angles. We're always taught to chase space, especially in zone coverage. So this is the guy that's going to end up covering him. I guess you can see it better from the wide view. He runs into him.
He's got time again.
That's what I said. I'm not as mad about protection as I was. Yes, some of it was terrible, but a lot of it was the throws were available. But when you have this, and you'll see it really good from the wide view. So this is called chasing space. They got zone. This is the guy. I'm gonna get mad.
Come on now.
It's 3rd and 4. This is the guy that makes a damn play and shuts it off. He's 15, 20 yards away from him. All he has to do is sit and curl. If he sits and curls right there, the first down move forward. But he takes a bad angle. He runs the route inside to sit down here, and he sits at 12, 14 yards instead of 4 yards right here. We call this chasing space. Watch number 2. When number 2 goes to the flat, I think it's 12, right? Sit down right there. Like, that is just the technique you're taught, and it's situational awareness. Know where you're supposed to be on the field. And when I feel bad, I go back and watch Nussmeier. He's trying to get to him, but he's like, well, shit,
We're on a podcast, okay.
I don't know where he's going anymore. Like, this is one of those films that's making me mad again.
Well, we had to bleep you the other night, but this is a podcast.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can get away with it. All right, so that's a trust issue now for the quarterback.
Yeah.
He doesn't trust that the guy's going to be where he's supposed to be because there's been at least 1 or 2 times where he's thrown the ball where the guy's supposed to be. And Nussmeier, to the naked eye, even watching on TV, man, wait, where are you throwing? It's like, well, he's throwing where the guy's supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, this is one that, to me, Trey Dez in his 2nd year, I don't know who the tight end coach is right now, but if you're getting taught,
Alex Atkins,
you're getting your butt chewed out right there. I mean, it's called 3rd and sticks. You don't run 3rd and 4. I don't care if the original route is a 10-yard curl, 10-yard stop. This is 3rd and sticks. You get to the numbers and sit down.
We're brought to you by Bayou Apparel. If you're looking for anything LSU, go to everythinglsu.com, made by locals and shipping from Baton Rouge. The highest quality products to showcase your brand, whether it's an established one or a new one. Bayou Apparel design experts can help you create eye-catching designs that fit your company's message. They do logos, event T-shirts, and promotional items for your business. And if you need anything LSU, go to everythinglsu.com and Bayou Apparel. All right, this next play is a touchdown for Ole Miss. This is 2nd down and goal at the 2. This is late in the first half.
This is another one that to me, the first time I've been really frustrated, just hit pause right here. First of all, you know you're out leveraged. The amount of numbers we have on the left side of this versus the numbers we have on the right side is completely outnumbered. The thing that bothers me the most is no one's pointing it out on the defense. No one's calling and communicating. I don't know if they had a blitz called here because you're going to have Perkins come off the edge, Weeks come off the edge, and they're in a set blitz. But I believe we had one timeout right here. It was 18 seconds. I believe there's one timeout in the game. And if you're not freaking out right now to call a timeout, wait till he goes in motion. So this just terrifies me. Perkins is not looking. He might be trying to play a game to bust out, but he doesn't. He comes. So now you leave two guys to cover three. This is the first time I'm screaming, Blake's got to call a timeout right here. They're out leveraged, outnumbered. But what makes me more frustrated is everybody seems okay with it. No one's waving their hands, freaking out, trying to get someone's attention. There's nothing you can – Central High School scoring in that situation right there. I mean, you got three guys. You got two guys to cover three. And look at the numbers. Hit pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 on the right side to a bunch over there. This makes no sense. I mean, this has to be ringing an alarm in somebody's head that I believe we had a timeout. I wish I could say we didn't, so they were stuck. But this is one that you got to bang a timeout.
Whose adjustment would this be if there's anybody on the field?
Perkins.
I mean, Perkins. Okay.
Perkins got a bail on the blitz right there. As soon as I got running back, I believe they start signaling he's coming. So at that point, Perkins got a bail. They got they don't have the numbers over it, and that's where I'm confused. Is I don't know what they're taught and what their calls are right there, but when you got a bunch set and 2 people to cover it, you got to hit a timeout.
Let's forward into the second half. Ole Miss has got a 10-point lead at this point. LSU's got the ball first and 10 at their own 38-yard line, and Nussmeier is sacked. And once again, we see him play with another stunt that the left side's doesn't handle very well.
It's the same stunt we've seen the last 4 weeks, and this one just gets really bad because Tyree does something you never do as a defensive or offensive tackle. He lunges. He chases a looping DN. You're in pass protection. This is more about like counter punching instead of punching. He's trying to throw the punch right here. And when the DN loops, he chases him. I mean, that's just terrible. It cuts off Mubinga to give him, I don't think he was in a good spot either, but it doesn't help anyone out. At this point, you got to understand that game is coming. You've seen it now. He's playing on an inside shade right there. They don't have a guy lined up on the outside. They don't have a new contain guy. So you know he's coming. The tackle's looping. This is something that I showed against the Southeastern game where the left side passed it off pretty well. Not so much on this game.
Okay. I want to point one other thing out here in a second, but I'll let it run here. Count the blue hats. 1, 2, 3. Count the gold hats protecting him.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6. The other gold hat is behind the blue hat. Okay,
but
but
he's let it go another second. I was laughing about this. Go one more second. Anytime both of them, at one point they're turning around watching him get tackled. It's never a good look.
Hey, Kern's blocking his guy.
Shoot, even 8's trying to block the D tackle.
I mean, I'm sorry, but again, when you talk about a 3-man rush, just here for a second, a 3-man rush against a 5-man protection ought to be plenty. Yeah. You ought to have all the time in the world to throw the ball. Now, he's trying to throw against 8 guys in coverage. He should have some time. He does not.
No, he has no time. I mean, this is just another game. Like they've seen this so much at this point to pass this off. But like what frustrates me is because last week Tyree did it, but watch him chase the end on the looper. You never this isn't a run protection. He chases him, lunges, just bad technique all around.
Well, let it run one more time. Dependable Storage with 8 locations across Louisiana and 1 in Mississippi and Gulfport. They'll match any competitor's pricing, offer convenient online rentals and payments. Free use of the moving truck for new rental move-ins and clean, secure, and conveniently located facilities. Check out the website at dependablestorage.com for locations, pricing, and rentals. Like Skip Burtman always says, at Dependable Storage, we want your stuff. All right. This play is a 3rd down and 9 from the Ole Miss 23, a little bit past midway the third quarter. Garrett Nussmeier going to Xavier Thomas but only for a short gain.
You can go straight to the wide view from behind on this one. I mean, this is the first time that I've really tried to watch it back and forth a few times. If you want to say this is a bad play call, I'll agree with you. Nobody's open. They get enough protection, but this is the first time when I'm watching it, I don't see where he has an option to go. At maybe 22, you can throw it out to the corner. He's going to get looping out. Possibly, if he's feeling really good. I think Barry Brown runs a little bit of a lazy route right here. He doesn't really press it hard to the inside. You're going to get a slant from 6 and 10, and you're going to get almost basically a wheel from 22.
Can I ask another question? Never having played college football in my life, there's 3 guys rushing. There's 5 guys protecting, which means there's 8 guys covering 5 guys on the routes.
This is what happens when you can't run the football.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm trying to force, where should he go?
This is a 3rd
here?
and 9. I'm not expecting him to run the ball on 3rd and 9, but this is what he is under more pressure than he should be for 3 on 5, and now he's got to throw into a stack deck.
The only place I can see to throw this is throw it high to 6. This is one of those, say, throw it to where only your guy can get it or go out the back of the end zone. Possibly Harlem, tough play for a freshman running back, throwing that ball to the corner. But he really, in my opinion, just doesn't have anywhere to go here.
Can we go back to the short view, because I just want to see what you see. Rich, they got 2 guys to block this guy. They got 2 guys to block that guy, and the only person between Nussmeier and the end zone is the referee.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. They've got you outflanked from here to Tupelo. Look at if the umpire doesn't make the tackle, Nussmeier is going to run into the goalpost. Yeah. I mean, isn't he? Well, Tell me where I'm wrong.
No, you're 100% right. They don't respect it. Now, he drifts back to the middle because you have a route
because you got the receiver coming across.
I mean, there's just
put a back there with him. Let him carry the ball. I mean, I'm not saying I want Nussmeier taking the ball, but I mean, look at this room.
That shows you the respect they have for a draw play right here. There's zero respect for a draw play.
Not a draw play, but because there's no back there.
A QB draw.
The quarterback can run here. My God. Look at that room.
But no.
I mean, God bless. They've got him. Okay.
This is the one play I could find. I can't find really anybody open. But you know what is open? The middle of the field.
Yeah, it's not that play. Yeah. It's everything that led to that play, leading them to play like this, where they're here's all the room you want. We know
Take
you're
off
not
running if you want.
You're not going to go. Okay, this next play is Ole Miss playing 2nd and 7 from the LSU 43-yard line. This is later in the third quarter, and this is actually a pretty good play by P.J. Woodland on the pick.
This is a hell of a play. I mean, we went to some man coverage on the backside, and later in this game, they really tried to attack P.J. and DJ Pickett. I think he held his own right here. I think what I love is the fight. He goes up to tip it. That's insane ball skills right there, to get up there, to know to tip it, and then get your feet back planted, catch the ball, and get your feet in bounds.
I love the way Woodland plays because
he's my favorite guy.
He's probably 165, 170 pounds, but he will fight you, man.
Oh, he plays so hard. He plays aggressive. This is one of the coolest plays we've had all year. Just the way he fights for it, tips it, stays with the play. I wish he'd cut back left and scored so our offense didn't have to. We'd had a tie game, but this is the point of the game where I got really mad, because this 17-10 going into the fourth, the defense has done everything they can do for you. Go make a play, but we settle for a field goal.
It's a really nice play by Woodland. Okay, next play, late third quarter, 2nd down and 9 in Ole Miss territory, and Nussmeier goes to Barry and Brown for a 15-yard gain. Is this the play we're talking about where, this one, he looks
healthy right here. I mean, to put the ball in the placement where he does here, in between, there's 2 or 3 guys covering on him. It's a great throw. He has to throw it with zip. But this is where I question, how hurt is he if he can make this throw?
That's a laser.
That's a laser to get there.
Can I? I'm going to ask this question without trying to make it sound as dumb as it does in my head. Does it hurt sometimes? And I'm serious. Is this thing, whatever it is, flaring up on him at different points in the game, and then it settles down? If we're talking about an oblique, if we're talking about a torso injury, it's something where sometimes he goes to twist and hurts, and sometimes he doesn't.
No, there's definitely something to that. Like, you can be so when I play with broken hand, like when I got my shot and got numbed up, I felt good until I hurt it again. So like I would play, felt good, then I got hurt, I'd go back to the sideline. It'd be a few plays, I'd get another shot, I'd feel good. But like, you could play through it till it started hurting.
Because he's not injured to the point where he can't play, or they wouldn't let him play. He wouldn't play. Coach wouldn't let him play. The trainer would. Jack Marucci's not going to let him play. Doug Nussmeier's not going to let him play. So does this just hurt at some points when he's trying to make certain throws?
Yeah, but if you go back, there's another bad decision on this one. This is where I get a little bit more frustrated. Like I was almost done. Okay, come on. So
what did he miss?
Thomas on the backside. I don't know if they're arguing right now, but he's going to throw to three guys on Barry and Brown. Thomas is running down the middle of the field wide open again.
Sure is.
And he's got the time right here. Why isn't he throwing it out of the end zone? I mean,
he leads that thing. I didn't even see it. I didn't even see that the first time.
I mean, he's going to throw to the guy that's got three guys in a hole instead of the guy that's got his guy beat man to man.
And his arm felt great right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me do one more. Town Square Pizza, downtown Baton Rouge. Delicious, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. You got the limited amount of time to go to lunch downtown. Make it Town Square Pizza on North Boulevard. For pickup or delivery, and catering is available. You're out of town as you're coming in for LSU games. Monday through Saturday from 11 until 8 p.m. Also some delicious craft brews there. So check it out at Town Square Pizza downtown, right next to downtown Town Square Pizza. All right, this last one. This is 1st and 10, the LSU 20. Harlem Berry rushes, and there's nowhere to go.
You can ask me what happens on this play. I don't know. I've tried to look at this play. This is the play I called Flynn up earlier. We watched it on FaceTime a few times. The left side looks to me is, they're hinge blocking on the backside. Obviously, Kern is the biggest error right here.
Go ahead, set it up.
So Kern's going to – what I'm thinking is this is another one where if I'm calling the mic, I'm going to say run the mic all the way back to the left, which means he's going to block one-on-one here. These two are going to work here to here. I'm going to put my tight end out here, and have a gap play. But what it almost looks like, they don't do that. They're going to Mike here, pushing everything this way.
Mike where?
Let it run real quick, make sure I'm seeing the same thing. No, so they did go Mike here, but I don't like their steps. So when you're saying, if you watch the left side, I'll slow down a little bit to make sense. The left tackle and the right guard, they're hinge blocking, backside all day long.
Okay.
Now run it back. The front side, they're blocking here to here, which I think is a terrible technique. And this is where me and Matt were going back and forth on what they're trying to do. Because if you're running Mike middle and the zone plays to your right, then you're going to take a step to your right. You're going to pass off with the guard and get to 26. But it's like they reversed it. They tried to pass this block the Mike this way.
Who's supposed to be blocking that cat?
Well, we haven't got there yet.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So if you notice, go ahead and get there. We have three guys blocking a linebacker. This one's on Kern, obviously, but there's other issues to where –
I'm going to cut the freshman a little slack.
Yeah.
But
right now, I think that Kern's supposed to wash, but he just doesn't touch the guy at all. He goes in to help, and we got two tight ends and a tackle blocking the same guy.
That's enough of that. If this was difficult for us to watch, I could imagine what the film study was like for the players. So you tell me what do you pull out of it? They have an off week, okay?
Yeah.
No podcast next week, by the way. There is a whole week to work on you before you get to South Carolina. So if you're in the room, what do you?
I got a lot of questions. I'm like, okay, were they supposed to put we saw the two run plays. We had a Mike right, Mike left. Which one is the coach asking them to do? Because the one to the first way it was ran was terrible. I saw that from the get-go. Did they make that adjustment because they couldn't get there? Like, there's just things where they don't know each other, and it's too late in the year for them not to know each other. Like, me and you can hang out and work together for 4 weeks. I'm going to get an idea of what you're good at and what you're not good at. And there's just no, cohesion. They're not blocking and playing off each other. Like, the Mike call is subject to the center. I'm making it an easier call for this guy or an easier call for this guy. Or if I can get there, I'm going to slide it back to make it easier for the right side. They don't seem to know what is easier. And when he does make that call, they don't seem to all get on the same page. I mean,
and all of that is absolutely okay. Our big problem when we came in here to do the post game was, where's the running game? And there are times where you've got numbers. We've illustrated a number of them here where you've got numbers and you're just not trying to run the football. Yeah. Now, there's other times where you're trying to run the football and something like this happens. But my goodness, I mean, you have you got to make them pay for overplaying you like this.
Yeah, well, to me, as Joe Sloan lost all confidence in him, it was like, I can't run the ball. That's a problem too. I mean, I see problems either way. Either he has zero confidence and he went away from it, but you also have to, like I was telling someone the other day, make it easy. Throw some power. The stat from Hester and Flynn this morning has me just mind-boggled. I forgot it was 140, 150 runs, 10 counters, 0 powers. So, yeah, you're going to get loopers all day long in games and stunts because they're trying to mess with your zone protections. If you throw a few of those in, put Pyburn back there. And I know that's not something they practice with. Put Pyburn and Jackson. Run an A-gap power. Run a beat. Throw something different in there to where you're just throwing meat and muscle at it, and all those guys getting a three-point stance and fire off the ball.
One more thing, and then we'll quit. How much autonomy do you think Nussmeier has to check out of some of this stuff when they're showing you this light of a box?
It's a good question, and that's where we don't know. Because there's times when we looked at that play earlier in a 3-man protection, most would be like, I was talking to Funny, he's got to fan that to the left, but I don't know if he's allowed to do that.
Okay, we'll take the off week, and we'll be back with our film study for the South Carolina game. For Richard Dickson, I'm Charles Hanegriff. This has been the Hannycast.